That's the moment when people want to say something crazy when you tell them you don't want to say something crazy.
I know you gotta tell people we're live, so don't say anything crazy. You can still be yourself, but people will start saying
Okay.
things that are like, nah, yo, why would you say that? I'm scared. Or even worse, they start incriminating themselves. Bright lights will do that to you.
You think so?
I know so.
No, I take mine to the grave. Sometimes I scare myself of my abilities of like acting like
You just said
everything
you're
is
a
okay.
professional liar. Is that what you're saying? I'm a
No,
really good liar.
I'm not a good liar. I mean, it's called bending the truth just to your advantage. But we'll get into that because
That's what Corey
that's
says
something
too.
Virgos do. That's something Virgos do. That's something Virgos love to do. We play a lot of fuck games right here in the mind.
So y'all mind fucking people. All
That's what
right.
we do that for a sport. It's a sport for us.
Mind fucking is a sport.
Yes, mind fucking. If we know we could fucking fuck you in the mind, that's it. It's over for you. And if you allow it, because some people won't allow it. So if you don't allow it, we just be like, oh, okay, that's all right. I can't go there. Like I gotta just one up and do something else. You know what I mean? But if we see that you allow it, oh yeah, we're gonna take it all the way. We're gonna
Oh,
drill that shit in, yes, and we're gonna take advantage of it.
that
Yep.
sounds very
I'm
take advantage using. But anyway,
I'm
let me
just
hit the
letting you
song.
know.
We ain't gonna get monetized. We cursed in the first like 30 seconds. We over for this show. What's up, family? As always, it's your favorite Mason, and I'm here with your new favorite podcast, Hush Your Mouth. Unfortunately, tonight, well, she'll be jumping in a little bit later on. Kori is having some technical issues, so I have a very special guest here. She's been here before, one of our family members. She's smiling because she knows she's got a lot to say on this particular topic.
I'm a HMO
Sex
also.
at she's. She's an all-star. She's a family member. She's all those things. Sex and dating, the Zodiac. So we're going to talk about Zodiac signs. We're going to talk about sex and dating. But before we get into any of that, how you doing?
I'm good. I can't complain. A lot of good things are happening in my life, so I'm just trying to take them, one step at a time and not
Okay.
do that crazy Virgo shit that I do.
We're going to talk about crazy Virgo shit because I don't know what that is, but you're making it sound very scary. So I'm going to listen to you tell me some crazy Virgo shit. But how was your weekend? What did you do this weekend? Did you do anything fun? This is where we usually
What
do a
did I
mental
do this
health check-in.
weekend? I'm
I don't
trying to
know. Tell
think.
me. What did you do?
I'm trying to think. Oh, I went to this bar called Locksmith.
Mm.
It was really cool. Yeah. It was indictment. Well, it wasn't indictment, but it was like Washington Heights kind of area. So I went there and then I went to El Jefe. And I realized that my community doesn't look the same anymore. The food was good. The food was really good at Locksmith. I really enjoyed that.
All right.
You ever had
What's the
Peruvian
cuisine?
food?
Peruvian. No.
Yes. There's this
What's that
thing called
like?
amazing. So there's
What
this
kind of
thing called
dishes?
lomo, right? And lomo is like white rice with like skirt steak, but like shredded kind of, and then it has like French fries in it. It's weird. It's weird, but it's like all one plate. It's all plated together, like on the same plate, and
Hmm.
it's just a plate of goodness.
Is it
Really
spicy? Is it
goodness.
is it savory?
No,
Well, you said steak, so steak
very
is always good. Mm.
yes. And then I had on top of that, I had the salchipapas, which is basically like French fries with sausages, but then they put like this sauce on it that has like three different colors, like white, purple, and red. So I'm guessing it's mayo, ketchup, but I don't know what the purple one was.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
It sounds
you should
good.
check it out. Yeah,
But
you
the
should
real
check it out.
question is, what did you have to drink? Like, what was the drink? How was the
Um,
drinks? That's always my
you're kind of girl.
telltale. The drinks are kind of good. They was
Yeah,
hitting,
no,
or
they're
they was
good.
like,
Yeah, they was hitting. I'm a Jack and Ginger kind of girl. I love Jack. It's my favorite guy.
okay, Jack and Ginger,
Yeah.
dark liquor. You know what they say about dark liquor?
What? It's
I'm
the
not gonna
devil's
tell you.
nectar.
Dark
It's the
liquor,
devil.
what?
It's the devil's nectar.
That's one of the things they say.
Oh,
Little
okay.
liquor make it quicker. But my 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 weekend was pretty good. Like I didn't do much. I didn't do anything crazy. Went out for some drinks on Friday, like I usually do. Wrap up my week. The weekend was kind of quiet. So yeah. Oh no, I did go to Fright Fest. I went to Fright Fest,
I
which is
haven't been
very
there
interesting
in
because I've
years.
never been ever in my life. I'm
Really?
not the scary type. But it was different. It was different. I
I
mean,
mean,
at night, yeah, different.
yikes. I mean, if you're looking for something scary, you should just walk down Flatbush. I'm just saying. I'm saving money.
Walk down my neighborhood. If you say so. I've never been robbed, knock on wood. Nothing bad has happened, knock on wood. If I see it coming, I know it's coming, pause, knock on wood. So I don't have those issues. But okay, all right. So normally at this point in time in the day or in our segment, we go into some talk about it or pass on it. So we just jump into headlines, topics, things that's going on, and we're gonna decide if we want to talk about it. We always talk about it because Kori doesn't know how to
Yeah.
pass on
Shut
it.
up. You know how to
So
find.
so she definitely always talks about it. So everything we have here today, we pretty much go talk about. And the first thing we have is what is going on. The Astros right now as we speak, the World Series is going on. So it's the first game of the World Series where the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros are actually playing.
Can I
So
tell
what do you
you
know about
something?
baseball? Because you are Latina.
You see, let me tell you something. I am the wrong person to ask that question because I do not really like the sport of baseball. I
You
love the
don't like
fact,
baseball?
no, you know why? Because growing up, my father, my stepfather always had, if he wasn't watching it, he was listening to it. And it was just like too much. Like, why? So
Mm.
I just, it's not that I don't like it. Like, I love the drinking that comes with it and like the camaraderie, but I'd rather go to a basketball game.
Okay. I'd
Yeah,
rather go to a basketball game, but I do like baseball. I do enjoy going to the games. It is a lot of drinking and waiting around. There's not a lot of action, but I'm a huge Yankee
yeah,
fan, so it's usually
me
a good
too.
time for me.
Me
Of
too.
course.
If you're from New York, you have to be a Yankees fan.
Yeah, there's like a few Mets fans, not a lot.
Yeah, they don't count.
They don't count. The five of them don't count. Shout out to the Mets
No,
fans.
they're probably from Staten Island or Long Island.
They're
They're
usually
out
from
there.
Queens because you know the Mets play in Queens, so they're usually from Queens. But shout out to everybody that watches baseball. It should be a good series because the Astros are really good, and the Braves haven't been in the playoffs in the actual World Series in quite some time. So it should be a very interesting game. Next thing, finance. Tesla. You like money, right? You like money.
I
You look
love
like you
money.
like money. Why'd you say it so sexually? Like I love money. But anyway,
Tesla.
Tesla hits $1 trillion market cap for the first time. So Tesla just hit $1 trillion. Tesla's a part of a group of about one, two, three, four, about five other companies, 4 to 5 other companies that has a market cap of $1 trillion or more.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that's a lot of money. But a huge reason
What would
why
you
it's
do?
what would I do with $1 trillion? $1 trillion?
A trillion. Just have a trillion. You're a
Listen,
trillionaire.
I don't know. I would do more of this. We'd have a bigger building, more equipment, get more talent, and do more podcasts. What would you do with a
Okay.
trillion
I
dollars?
will disappear. Don't will nobody ever know where the fuck I went. I'm going to live with
Not
the
family, not friends.
listen, I'm gonna go live with the aliens in outer space because the earth is ghetto. I'm out. Earth
The
is
Earth
ghetto.
is ghetto.
Yeah, you guys are ghetto. I'm over it here.
So what would you
I'm
do?
out.
Where when
I
you
would
went to
disappear.
your hidden place? What would you do in your hidden place? Pause.
I would do a lot of good deeds from afar and
Pause.
change people's lives.
So you do a lot of good deeds from afar and
Yes,
change people's lives. How
yes.
so? Like how would that look?
I'll be people's like fairy godmother, and people wouldn't even know it.
Okay. Would you live by yourself? Would you like carry? Would you take someone with you?
Um, yeah, I'll take someone with me. My dog that I'll buy.
So a new dog and a hidden place where you will
Nobody knows
grant
me.
people's wishes.
Nobody knows me. You know what? I'm gonna do like
You put no thought
did you
into this.
no, I didn't. I didn't think you were gonna answer that question, or I didn't know if you were gonna have a real answer to it. You know, your answer seems very like legit. Mine is just like I'm just winging it. But that's
Yeah,
another
you
Virgo
definitely
thing.
sound like you're making it up as you go along. Is that a Virgo thing? Like, are you
Yes,
lying to
yes.
me now? Are you
No, no,
pretending?
no. This is not a lie. This is a real thing. I would do like McAfee and move to Belize and just be like a whole new person. Did you ever
Okay.
watch that documentary, Get the
No.
Gringo? Oh, you need to watch it.
What is it about? Since we're talking
I
about it.
can't tell you because then you're not gonna want to watch it. I'm gonna spoil it for you.
Okay. So send me that, and I'll watch that, and I'll come back with some sort of recap for the people who haven't watched it.
Everybody needs to watch
Is
that.
that fair? It's that good, but you can't tell me anything about it.
It's pure fuckery, but good
Okay.
fuckery.
Good fucker. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Next story, Insecure, season 5. Well, the very last season. Insecure is on its last season. It aired on Sunday. Sunday. Yep. Sunday was the airing of the first episode. Do you watch Insecure?
I honestly I stopped watching Insecure. I didn't even, I don't think I even finished season 4, so I have to like catch up.
So here's the question that's happening on Insecure since you don't watch it. So this will be good for you to answer.
So you're
We
gonna
were
spoil
talking
it for me,
about babies and baby daddies before we got on the air, but in this particular scenario, the character Lawrence, remember Lawrence?
the douchebag.
He's basically having a break baby. He's with Issa now. That's how they ended the last.
So
Uh,
they got back together.
they got back together, but while they were apart, he was having a good time with some ladies. One particular lady, they broke up. Him and Issa got together. He found out she was pregnant. So now, just as things were getting good with him and Issa, Lawrence and Issa, he finds out the old work is pregnant. So now
That's
he has to
fucked
tell
up.
Issa, hey, listen, I know things are going amazingly well. You're in a good space. I'm in a good space. We're coming together, but I'm having this kid and I don't know what you want to do. So that's where they kind of left off last season. Jumping into this season now, what she gonna do? So that's where we kind of are at in the
Mm.
first episode. So what would you do if you were Issa and you had a person that you were interested in his
And
past
it's it.
relationship, he finds out, boom, he's having a kid.
I am for the child, so I feel like you should make it work with her and just let me be.
He should what? Make it
Make it
what?
work with her. I mean, make it
How?
work
He
with
was he was he was not in a serious situation. They were
Was it with that
together.
girl that planned Issa's party or something like that?
Yep. See,
It
you
was
did
with
see
her.
it. See, you saw some
No,
of it.
I saw. Yeah, I didn't finish season 4, but I'm very well in tune with what's going on. But I just didn't finish season 4. I kind of was
Mm.
like ugh, over it. Like Instagram told me everything I needed to know. Sometimes,
So you're not with the
like
break baby?
I'm not with the break baby. You can go ahead over there and stay with
Really?
your baby. Yeah.
You know, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union had they had a break baby and they're doing amazingly well. Their family unit is together. So you would give all that up with the right person. This is your soulmate. This is the person that makes you happy. Like, see
Is
how
it
you
really
smiling
her
right
soulmate?
now? This is the person that makes you smile like that from
Is it
ear to
really her
ear.
soulmate? Is it
Huh?
really her soulmate? Is he really her
Yeah, it's a
soulmate?
soulmate. Of course he's our soulmate. We've been through this whole ride with him since season 1 when he was a bum sleeping on the couch. To now he's got an executive job, he's got an assistant, a window, he's got all these things going for him, and he wants to be with the person that he wanted to be with all those years ago. And now he has a chance at everything she wanted him to correct, he's corrected. So
Wow.
now you're in the same situation. If you can't tell, I'm Team Lawrence. Now, if you're in the same
Wow.
situation,
I can tell.
how are you going to give that up? Are you going to give up your soulmate? For
That's very hard. That's very, very hard.
I
That's
don't
very,
know.
very
You're a
hard.
Virgo, don't y'all like love?
We love love, but we love the
Mm,
right love. And that sounds
that
like
is the
there's
right
just one.
love. That was his.
But
That's her
no, because
soulmate.
now there's gonna okay, you're the soulmate, but now there's another person, and actually there's a person with an additional person.
Hmm.
And now it's too many people. Like you starting to sound like slick right now. You keep sounding. You give
How
another
am I
slick
sounding?
bar.
I'm sounding like Slick by saying you should be happy. You don't want to be
Okay,
happy. I
I
should not
want to
root
be
for your
happy.
happiness. I'm rooting for Issa's happiness in this whole scenario. I'm rooting for Issa's
I
happiness.
want her to be happy too, but is that going to? No, he fucked up. That's it. He fucked up.
But he didn't fuck
Now,
up on her. It's not like they were together and he dated
yes, I
somebody or he was
understand
doing.
that.
That's
I
different.
understand
Like
that.
they broke up. We're not together. So now,
So would you allow it? So now, let's say you have a girlfriend, you break up with her, she's out here doing her thing, you doing your thing, and now you guys come back together, and now she's pregnant.
see, here's how it's different now. You got to carry that baby with you. This is a little bit different when
But
it's the
this
mother.
is your chance to love. What
I'm
happened, Mason?
I'm still gonna root for love. It's just gonna be a little bit different. Because when you think about it now, you got to go to doctor's appointments, you got to do all that stuff. Like in the other scenario, she don't got to do that. Issa don't got to go to doctor's appointments. She don't got to be there for all that stuff, morning
That's
sickness.
very true. That's very
See,
true.
so
But
she doesn't have to
you're
deal with the
rooting for love.
nuances.
You're rooting for love. You still
I
didn't
am
answer
rooting
my
for
question.
love.
Would you do it?
I'm
Would you do it?
just it's just different. There's different caveats. You got to be realistic with the caveats. Different caveats. But
So you're rooting
I'm
for
gonna let you
love.
think about this. Break baby or no break baby on the next episode. Next
Break
topic.
baby.
So
No break baby.
basically, you're aware of what happened in January 6th. Protest organizers say that the principals in the new inquiry that's going on Capitol Hill regarding the January 6th insurgents, if you will, got to choose my words correctly here. The insurgents on the Capitol Hill, they're basically saying that people in not only the White House, but also in Congress knew what was going on, and they were part of several plans, meetings as far as organizing what would take place on January 6th. So this is a new revelation, and it's happening right now as they're going through their panel. What do you think about that? What do you think about
I'm
the whole
telling you,
January 6th?
I'm moving to outer space. It's very ghetto here. Very ghetto.
I
Very
mean, this
ghetto.
isn't the first time that the government has
I wouldn't be
jumped in
surprised.
and organized coups or any type of overthrowing of government or insurgents. It's not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Bay of Pigs. I could go on in history, but you know,
Please enlighten us. Tell us how
well,
you really feel. Tell us how you really feel.
how I really feel. I feel like, yeah, they set this up, and you could tell by the people and how they're being held accountable. If that was something that was outside of the government, the the hunt would have been very much, I wouldn't want to say very much more, but the hunt would have been greater. I think it'd be like on Bin Laden's level. I think it would have been
Oh,
on levels
trust.
of national security. But I think it was it was handled internally. The people that were like most visible were caught, and they were given slaps on the wrist when you think about it for what they were doing. So
I
there's
agree.
a lot more to it that we'll never know, but
Dun, dun, dun.
that's what it is. That is what it
Very
is.
true. I agree. I agree.
So let's jump into our topic because, yeah, it's that time. Sex and dating, the zodiac signs. First of all, what's your sign? I
Big
said it a few times,
fucking
but
Virgo. The best fucking sign in the fucking world. Okay? Just want to let
and
you
what does
know.
that mean? You were born when? When's your birthday?
September 21st. Okay? I'm a
September
cuss baby.
21st.
I'm a cuss baby. So God said, oh, you're going to be people thought I was going to be a Libra because, what's going on where she's at. But God said, no, I have a greater plan for you. I'm going to put you at the end because we're going to save you for last. So, there's that. And he made me great. So he made me Virgo.
Okay. And tell me more about Virgos because I don't know much about the signs. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a
Virgo.
Pisces. I'm a Pisces male, obviously. I was born in March, obviously. So I think Pisces are really great. But again, I don't know much. So we're gonna talk about it, and you're gonna tell me and share your expertise on these signs based on your experience. Because I have some experience. I've dated my own sign, and I'll tell you how that goes when we
Oh,
get to that. That's
oh
obviously never
man.
worked out because I'm still single. I've dated Scorpios. I think I've dated a few different signs, and
But
I don't
never
know
a
which
Virgo?
ones. I don't think I've ever
You
dated a
don't like
Virgo.
Virgo?
Huh?
Anybody between August 27th to September 22nd?
Nah, I don't
That's
think
never
I've ever.
happened?
No, but
Wow.
I don't go out looking for particular signs in people. So
But there are people
for
who
me,
actually do that. Like, there are people who really take, like, this astrological, signs and all these things like a real thing, like when they're dating. I've never, that's too much for me, but because we don't really know exactly who we are, because technically, in order for you to know who you really are, like in the astrological world, you need to know your rising, and I think it's your moon, so it's like your sun and your moon. So I know like my rising is Virgo, and I think
mhm.
my moon might be Gemini.
And how do you
So
find
that
that out? Like, what is that?
you have to go to, like, you gotta find your natal chart. That's what it's called. So there are like free websites or some websites that you have to like specify where you were born, the exact time, okay, and the day, of course, and they'll let you know what your rising and your moon is.
Oh shit! So
That way,
I'll never know that because I don't know the exact time I was born. I just know the day.
no,
No,
it's not on your birth
I know it was
certificate.
at night. That's about it. On my
It's
registry,
not on your birth certificate. I said,
on my you know what? I gotta look. Maybe that's where it's at. Look at you, teaching me something
yeah,
already.
yeah. I mean, it's on my birth certificate. My birth certificate is like 3 pages, but we're not even gonna get into that. I was born in Venezuela, so which is why my birth certificate does not look like yours. Okay,
Okay, 3 pages long. Venezuela. All right, gotcha.
but yeah,
So yeah. So what are the questions? Are what are the facts that you know about your own sign? So you already said you guys twist and bend the truth.
to our advantage. So we could be like, I don't want to say like serial manipulators, but we know we were blessed with the gift of gab, so we can get into certain situations, but very much so remove ourselves from those situations by sometimes bending the truth. So yes, that does happen. We are very logical people, um, but somehow our our ways are very much based on emotions. So I don't know. There's some kind of like medium that happens there that only we can understand. You know what I mean? Like we can sort our emotions if, and it becomes a logical thing in our brain. But if once we say it or express it to someone else, it just might be like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? But in our mind, it's completely fine. It's completely fine.
So
We're very
one of the
impulsive.
people that I know that are Virgos is Joe Button, and he has all those qualities that you just talked about. So
Yeah.
he's and good and bad, I guess, depending on the scenario and situation.
Yes.
But all those qualities. Yeah. What else do you know?
We're very loyal people, but do not fuck with us. So like we will ride or die with you till the wheels fall off. But once you do something to get to that other side, you might as well just disappear. You might as well move to space with the aliens because this is over for you. Like
So you guys are revengeful, like
some of us can be very spiteful
vengeful.
and vengeful. Not myself because I consider myself a refined Virgo. So there's stages that people go through, obviously, and with those stages come, the outcome is growth. So I'm at a higher scale of like Virgoism, if you want to make that a word, you know.
Okay.
You meet
Those
my little
that
Virgo
just to me
cousin.
means you're even sneakier or you're better at
What?
everything. That's what you
What?
just told me. Like
Wow.
I'm refined. The way you said it just
You're
means
twisting my
that
words,
you're better
Mason.
at it. No, I'm just
Mason.
telling you how it translates.
Mason, you're twisting
You
my words.
that's
You're
why I
twisting
said
my
it out
words.
loud. So I'm not just thinking it. I said it out loud so you could tell me if I'm wrong, correct me, but you haven't said I'm wrong. All you're saying is I'm mixing up your words.
No, you're definitely wrong. You're taking it to a next level.
Okay. Just telling you what I heard. For me, Pisces, all I've heard is that we're emotional. We're emotional beings. We're emotional. Um, we're sensitive. We have that loyalty trait as well. We're lovers. That's what I've gotten. So
That's what you've got.
you've heard differently.
What? No, I've dealt with differently. What about
Oh,
like selfish? Do you think you're selfish?
I think to
Do
a
you think
degree.
you think you put yourself first before anything?
Me as a
You
person,
know,
probably not. I don't think I put myself before. a lot of things. I think those that I love, I put before myself. Everything else, probably not, but the people that I love, I'll put before myself.
Mm.
Because if I love you, I love you. So
Would you
that
consider
means,
yourself a liar?
would I consider myself a liar? No. Have I
Why
lied?
did you have to
Yes.
repeat that
Yes,
question?
I've
Why did
lied.
you if you had to repeat that, it was
Wow.
because you're trying to think of the answer. You wanted to say yes, but you don't want to say it.
No, I just said yes, though. I said yes in my own way, but I said yes. I said,
Mm,
have I lied? Yes. Am I a liar? No. So it's two parts. So, I mean, have I lied? Yes. Of course I've lied. I've lied many a times, I'm sure, in my lifetime. Um, do I practice lying? No. I kind of get to the point, or I've gotten to the point where I can tell the truth and I'm comfortable with it. Like I'm not
me too.
scared to just be honest.
That's true.
There's nothing bad that could come from honesty, especially if you're not dealing with the law or anything of that nature. Relationships, you find yourself that people are down with a lot more things if you just are honest with it. So
That's
I've
very
I've I've learned that over the years because normally that's not the normal train of thought, but as I'm getting older, I'm learning that's what it is.
yeah. I agree. We're adults. Why lie? Who are we
Yeah.
lying to?
But I want to know more about your dating your Pisces.
Well, I dated a Pisces for a very, very, very long time,
You're smiling, so he did something good.
and
Shout out to him. Shout out to the
I
Pisces.
mean, one thing I will say about you guys are very funny. You guys are very personable people. Like, if one thing, you'll have fun with the Pisces. Definitely, that's for sure. Like, they don't take themselves too serious or things too serious. Like, they could be upset about something, and it's like here today and gone tomorrow. Like, okay, fine, I'm over it. Let's move on. You know what I mean? Like, they don't dwell on like negative things or things
Uh,
that might. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna agree with you, but keep going, keep going. I want to hear more. Keep going.
Okay, okay, calm down. Okay, calm
No,
down.
keep going. This guy was great.
But
Shout out to him. Keep going for this guy.
um, so I say that to say this.
He
I
still
spend
makes
a
you
lot of.
smile though, because you're still smiling.
I say
You're
that to
hiding
say
it. Yeah,
this.
you're hiding it. Okay. I don't know who he is, but
I say
shout out
that
to
to say this. You're. I say that to say this. He. We did it for a long time, and just like there are good traits, there are bad traits too. But Pisces and Virgos, they don't mesh well.
That's not what I read. I read Pisces go well with Virgos, Capricorns, and something else.
Now Capricorns, that's a different story. That's the love of
Mm.
my life. The love of my life. I know my husband is gonna be a Capricorn. I just know it.
What's Capricorns? What date is that?
Honestly, it's late December. I want to say late December, early January.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. Or like mid December, early January.
And why do you mesh well with a Capricorn?
Because like a Virgo, Capricorn is also an Earth sign. So we have a lot of similarities, but we're different in many ways. So it's kind of like what I like, the Capricorn kind of complements,
Okay.
and vice versa, and vice versa. So
And what do
Capricorns
you
and
lack?
Virgos,
What do you lack? How does that work?
nothing. I mean, I'm a fucking Virgo. Like, come on, you shitting me?
No, you can't say that. You can't say what you lack that they fill in the
According to
blank.
the
But
sign, according to the signs, you know.
and what would
According,
that be according to the signs? Not you personally. According to the signs, what would that be?
you know, uh, like for example, Virgos tend to have this ability to like outthink themselves about on certain things. So like we're always in our head. A Capricorn, on the other hand, is not like that. So like they're kind of like, I don't want to say the reasoning or like they assist us in that capacity, but that was one of them.
Okay. And what made that man the love of your life? Like let's talk
The
about
Pisces?
oh the which one was the love of your life, the Pisces or the Capricorn?
No, I said I dealt with the Pisces for a long time. So yeah, he was the love of my life
It was the
at
love of
one
your life.
point.
Okay.
Yeah, at one point.
All right. So what made him the love of your life?
That's a little personal.
No, you could be general about it. You don't have to say on Tuesdays he licked my left toe and my left toe was like my G spot and I would come through. Like I don't need all that. But like, what was some of the general traits that he had? Was it
He was kind. He was very funny and thoughtful sometimes.
Scorpios? I got something about Scorpios
Spontaneous.
in a second.
Scorpios.
Yeah, somebody in the comments said Scorpios, so I was going to talk about Scorpios in a second. But you go first. Spontaneous. He was kind.
He was kind and he was funny. I think that if you can't make me laugh, I don't know, man. Like it has to be laughter is it's good for my soul. I like to laugh. I'm silly all the time. Even when
Okay.
I'm mad, I'm laughing.
All right. So he was humorous. He made you laugh. He made you smile. That was the only trait that you can think of that was general.
Yes, for this situation, yes.
Okay. So I think that that's a trait that makes everybody laugh. But somebody in the comments said Scorpios. Scorpios have a reputation of being sexual, and I think I posted that last week when I was before I thought we were going to do the show last week. So we had I had posted just a question of which is the best sign, and people were saying Scorpio sexually. Now we were talking about sexually. We were into Virgo sexually too. What are y'all not good at?
Fire, nothing.
Anyway, so Scorpios have this reputation of being the sexual sign. They're supposed to be the ones that are swinging from the rafters. They're doing all the crazy stuff, and like I've never like not heard that about Scorpios. Like that's the one thing that's consistent.
I mean, do you believe it though?
The
Have you ever had an
two
encounter with a Scorpio?
yes, the two people sexually was really good. I think it was
Hmm.
definitely it was extra. It was everything.
Was it
But
top
I think it
five?
was those particular people, though. I think those particular people were more aggressive and more in the sexual side. So I don't know. I would have to like ask around or experience some more because those particular people were extra sexual. Have you ever been with a Scorpio?
The two, two, yes, two in particular. The first one fell short, but the second one was alright.
He fell
It was
short.
yeah,
I'm not even gonna keep going
yeah.
on
Like
that.
it was the hype was really like the hype was really just that the hype in many
Okay.
ways because not
Were you
only
going in expecting something? Was it like high expectations?
actually yeah, it kind of was. I was like, oh, he about to break my back. He about to give it to me. Oh shit, it's about to get crazy. And when I got there, it was just like, wow, where is it happening? Uh, you know,
Oh,
yeah,
you
I was
disappointed. Do you give them
very
second chances
disappointed.
when they disappoint you? If you've been disappointed?
Yes, I gave that person a second chance. But then after the second chance, I was like, no, I'm okay. I
Oh
just don't
wow.
think it's gonna work.
Two strikes and you're out. Yeah, Scorpios are aggressive. I agree with that.
Very.
Those girls were
But that
very aggressive.
but that could be no, that's a good thing. Sexually, yes. Sexually, yes.
I agree.
My second Scorpio, we had a really good time. I just wish she was just a better person. But sexually, we were very much so connected.
I agree because I think the Scorpios I dated, um, they were good sexually, but outside of that, it was a lot of like spiciness. That spiciness and that aggression carried over into other
Yeah.
things, conversations, understandings.
Mhm.
It's hard to communicate. So,
I agree. I agree.
but sometimes I think that was just a ploy for makeup sex, but that's besides the point.
Women do that.
That's
Women
besides
do
the
that.
point.
Women
I
do that.
think women do that. Tell me
Yeah,
more.
sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I'm fine. Like, I'm fine and I just want to start some shit so that, I can get punished or like break my back. Yes, let's go.
All right. So that's where the attitudes come from.
Sometimes for no apparent reason, yes. I mean, unless
Like good
she's
morning.
like
What's so
a
good about
psycho
the
and she
morning?
just wants to. The morning?
Coming in, stomping, doing extra things. Things you girls
Mm,
do just because I just want
but
attention.
not. Yeah, that's true.
Little extra fights for no reason. Like
I
you're really
prefer that
mad.
method. Mm,
You
I
prefer that
prefer.
method? What do you do?
I,
What's your method of
honestly, I prefer makeup sex than morning sex. I can't do morning sex. I mean, I'll do it fine, whatever. But I don't like morning sex. I like to sleep. Okay, I need my rest.
do you brush your
And
teeth
nobody,
first?
yeah, nobody want to have sex with no fucking like. Hello, how am I supposed to like? I'm really gonna get crazy and get really crazy, and I gotta smell my own breath. Are you shitting me? Fuck no. I'll pass. You know, meet me in the
Okay.
shower. How about that?
Note to self. Got you.
Yeah, like fuck that. And then sometimes y'all don't even be like gentle about it. Y'all just don't be like, caress. And it's just like, no, come on. Don't wake me up like that. I don't like to be like, don't wake me up like that. No, I will have attitude.
We
I
are
will have
so off
attitude.
topic. Okay. She said, "Don't wake me up like that. Don't. No morning
No.
sex. You got to communicate that. You got to always communicate with the people that you're having relations with. What you like, what you don't like. No morning sex.
But do you think Pisces can be aggressive sexually?
I don't think I'm aggressive sexually.
No.
I think I'm uh like the famous question, how do you act for sex? When we had that conversation before. Kori's thing was, she goes close and asks if you want to fuck. My thing is probably like
Of course she does that. Of course
like
she does that.
that's her method. I think I'm a little bit more. I don't even remember how I asked. It's just more like caress and move closer, and then usually girls are more aggressive in my experience, and yeah, I'll be on it. I'll be ready. How do you ask for sex?
I walk around with some whole shit on and then start doing whole shit. Or just so happen like, I'm a toucher. I'm like a more physical kind of person. I'm gonna let it be known. And then we can just be in the midst of something and it's just like boop, here it is. What you gonna do about it? It's right here. What's up?
So you're teasing. You wave the carrot, and you expect the action after that.
Of
That's your
course.
method.
Duh.
Interesting. See,
You know?
we would sit there and be like just doing the same things because somebody needs to pull the trigger. Like
So
you've
you
never
think it was different?
initiated. You've never initiated. You've never initiated.
Of course, because okay, if I'm teasing and then at a point it's just gonna be like, okay, well now I'm ready. So, I'm gonna get either on top of you, I'm gonna start kissing you, start gearing up the engine so we can get going.
Revving up the engine. All right.
Yeah, like we just gonna vroom vroom. What's what we doing?
Those are bars. I think Corey's in
Those
the
bars
comments
sound good.
because nobody would
She
be.
said,
She said, in our scenario, if we were A and B, we wouldn't be fucking. We'd just be sitting there teasing. I guess so. Mason the lover Pisces likes to be taken advantage of. Oh wow. Oh.
they do though. They do. And they're submissive. They're submissive. Sexually they're submissive people.
I don't
Because
find myself to be submissive. Like I think
that's
once
okay.
I'm going. Like once we're doing it and we're on the same page, I don't see myself as the type to be like, no, hold my hands. I think I take control at that point. Once I know
Really?
where we're going, yeah.
Can I be
I'm gonna
honest with
ping your
you?
hands on the bed. I'm gonna
Can I be
I'll do
honest
the
with you?
rest. You can be honest.
You give me like
Uh-oh, vibes. Here we go.
yeah,
Every
like
time a
a
girl
one
starts off with that, I'm always listening because I'm like, what? Go ahead.
you give me like you give me like you're not the type of person to fuck. You like to make love. You wanna hold my hand and my face and tell me how beautiful I am and that's the vibe you give me. Like you wanna sing an R&B song in my ear while we're fucking or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I don't sing. My voice is too deep. But that's interesting. So that's interesting. I'm gonna say that's interesting because I've never heard anyone say that, but that's interesting.
You've
I give
never
you that
really
vibe.
like, hello, I'm a Virgo. You're gonna hear shit that you're never gonna hear ever. Period. I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
Okay.
On to some other questions. During the talking phase, how do you act as a Virgo? How has different signs acted with you during the talking phase? And before we even get into that, what is a talking phase to you? Because my talking phase is different than
Well,
Corey's
what's your
talking phase.
talking phase? What's your
My
talking
talking phase, I'll go first. My talking phase is the first 2 weeks of us knowing each other. So if we are in a
phase?
club, we're in a bar, we're in a social situation, I start
Mm-hmm.
speaking to you, I get your number, whatever. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna get to know your likes and your dislikes for 2 weeks, like 2 weeks, more or less, before we
Okay.
even go out. Because I gotta know what you like to eat. I gotta know where you've been before, so that way we're not going to your spots.
Okay.
I
You don't
gotta
want to see
know.
any of my niggas there.
Nah, definitely not. I don't want to see you. No, no. That's like you. That's me playing on your home field. So I'm not gonna try to do that. So I'm gonna learn all these things. I'm gonna take notes of your likes and your dislikes. I'm gonna take notes of
But
what
what if it's a really
you're
good
about.
restaurant
Huh?
and you might just like it? What if it's a really good restaurant and you've never been there and you might
There's
just like
thousands.
it?
You live in Harlem. I live in Brooklyn. We live in New York City. There's tons of restaurants. So there's not one or two restaurants. We don't live in a small town where there's a one stoplight in a restaurant, at Applebee's, and that's all we could go to. So there's different restaurants and
No, if
places
you're
that
taking me to Applebee's for the first date, mm-mm.
if
Uh-uh.
it's the only restaurant in town, you're going to Applebee's. But those 2 weeks is my 2 weeks to get to know you and get to understand who you are as a person, and for you to get
Okay.
to understand and like me as a person too. I may decide in those 2 weeks that I don't want to talk to you no more.
What? Not a
Yeah, I
Virgo.
might be like, yo,
Not
she's
a
overly
Virgo.
Virgo. She's overly Virgoing me, and I'll
No
be
such
like,
thing.
nah, yeah, there's always such a thing.
You're gonna fall in
So,
love. Period.
so
In 2 weeks.
allegedly. But there's gonna come a point in time where you'll do something that I may not like, and I'll just fall back, and vice versa. There may be a time where like I'm overly sensitive, and you're like, nah, that's not for me, or I'm overly like nice, and I'm whispering. What do you say? R&B songs, whispering
Yes,
R&B songs
exactly.
here, and you may
Yeah.
not like that shit. So at that point, that's the first 2 weeks. Now, if those 2 weeks go well, that's the end of the talking phase, and we start dating because I'm gonna invite you out and we're gonna have a drink and we're gonna do whatever we're gonna do
But
based on
not
your likes and
exclusively.
dislikes.
But not
No, it's not
exclusively. You
exclusive.
guys
We're not
just date.
exclusive. No.
Okay.
So
So
what's
when do
your
you get
talking
to the
phase? I went
exclusive
through a
phase?
lot.
When do you get to the exclusive phase? Like, does the dating for you lead to exclusivity, or is it just like, I don't know, like that hasn't happened
So for
for you?
me, it's all in me continuously liking you. So if we're in the talking phase, first 2 weeks, then I'm like, I like this girl. Then we go out on a date. And I'm like, I like this girl in person. She's not,
Uh huh.
and then, we go on a few more dates. We're still in the dating phase. Then I'm like, I want to spend more time with you. If I'm spending the majority of my time with you, then we start talking about being exclusive.
Okay.
Then after that,
Okay.
that's the relation. Like that's just the natural course. And that's for me because apparently I'm weird with that shit. And apparently we should start dating the day after I get your number.
Now, how long is the dating phase for you? Like, I feel like sometimes uh people extend that way too long. Like, you'll be fucking dating somebody for 4 or 5 months. No, nigga, you're wasting my fucking time. At this
That's a
point,
little
what the
that's excessive.
yeah, but there's people like that.
You talk to
So
somebody for 4 months?
no, not 4 months. Maybe like 2 months, 3 months. But then it's like, how long is long enough? Because you don't really know somebody in 2 3 months. Like some things about them, but how
I
can you
don't know.
really tell if this is the person that you want to be with? How do you solidify that?
But for you, speaking of yourself, like how long is your normal talking phase? How long is it before you're like, all right, this is enough talking on the phone, texting? When do we go to
First of all,
the
I want to
next
go out
phase?
right away. I want to go out right away. You bag me today,
How,
let's take it
Sway?
out
How,
tomorrow.
how do I
Take me out
take you out right away if I don't even know what you like to eat? Do you have any
because
allergies? I don't know
well,
that. I'm gonna start
listen.
killing you at first date.
No, well, you can get to ask me those questions while we're out.
But what if I take you to if you have seafood allergies and I take you to a seafood spot? Like, how would I know that if I have
No,
never
okay,
spoken
you
to you?
have my number. You have my number, right? So you have my number. Clearly, that we're over that part. You text me like, "Hey, are you busy tomorrow? Let's grab something to eat. Do you want to go to a specific place? I don't fucking know. Whatever fucking shit guys say. And I'm like,
What
shut
does
up.
guy said to you though? What does those what did that Pisces man or that Leo man say to you? Because you dated a Leo too.
Leo, oh,
What
we don't even want to get into that,
what
baby.
did
That's
that
just,
Capricorn man? All
that's
right, one of the good ones. What did one of the good ones say to you? The Capricorns or the Pisces?
one of
What
the
did they
good
say
ones
to you?
said to me. One of the good
Mhm.
ones said to me, um, "What's your passport number?
What's your
What's your
passport
passport
number?
number? Your date of birth, and
Oof.
yeah, all of that."
He was flying you out.
Yes, he did, and he
Mm.
was actually he was a Virgo. See,
More than
which
$300. That equals real sex.
that's what Corey said.
That's a Corey. Actually, that's what Slick said, but I'm gonna keep it moving. But okay,
So,
so you want to be flown out when you let's
but
delve
let's
into
not get
this.
to that. Let's not.
No,
Let's
let's
not.
talk about this. So your
But
best date.
that was like now we have like at least like a month and a half talking now. Let me just
Okay,
focus on
so
a
I
month
was
and a half.
about to say your first date.
Yeah,
I'm
because
flying
I'm
you
just
out.
not. Yeah, that's just weird. That's just weird. That's not weird, but
That
like
gives me
it can
kidnapping
happen.
vibes. Like y'all girls
Yes,
don't think that that's like weird
like
and
rapey vibes and shit, like
yeah.
kidnap. Of
Let me get your
course.
social security number. I'm
No,
from Brooklyn. That's scamming. Like it's like I'm about to get a whole new identity for you. Your credit's about to be ruined for the next 10 to 15 years. And but
that's
I'll buy you
horrible.
a Birkin out of it
That's horrible.
if your credit's that good.
That's horrible.
But think about it. I want your social, your passport number. That's too much information for your first date. But how did that date go? Tell me more about that date when he flew
Um,
you out a month in.
it was amazing. We had a good time, but you know, that relationship was shortly lived because he was a Virgo. So I know you, like I know myself. So I know when you're doing that Virgo shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's some
So,
Virgo shit.
and that's some Virgo shit. We were communicating without communicating.
So you had a good time.
I had a great time.
But it was short lived because y'all communicated without communicating. And you knew that
No,
he was about to lie to you.
he was doing some shit, some funny shit, some shit just wasn't adding up. But that's neither here nor there. I had a great time with this gentleman, and there was also like an age difference, and I don't think he could keep up with the times. You know, he can't keep up. He can't keep up. I'm sorry. So, next question.
Down the Marco.
What zodiac sign can never take being wrong? What's a zodiac sign that you know they can't be wrong? Like they always have to have the
Um,
last word.
Leos.
Leos.
Oh,
I agree with you.
Leos and Libras.
Okay.
They have to have the last word.
Speaking from experience.
Yes.
So tell me more. Tell me about your experience.
My Leo was super fucking crazy. Like b- bad shit crazy. Like bad shit crazy. Like crazy to the point where like
You keep trying
there
to convince me more and more how crazy. Like he was crazy,
no
like crazy, like crazy, crazy,
crazy like
crazy.
that. No, like
Okay.
I remember one time we had gotten into an argument and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna remove myself from the situation. I couldn't use my phone. Like I had to turn off my phone because that's how insane he was. He was constantly like calling to the point where I cannot do anything on my phone. Like back to back to back to back. No, Leos are psychotic. They're psychotic people. There's something is wrong right here.
Okay. I've never went to that extreme. I just knew that she just always had to have the
No,
last
I'm not
word.
trying.
Huh?
Nothing.
Scared to ask again, so I'm gonna just keep going. The Leo that I know, she just always had to have the last word. So anytime that there was any conversations, I knew that. But I think women on a whole, you guys are very much about having the last word. So in
You think
my,
so?
I think so. You don't think so? I think y'all.
No.
I think women on a whole. I'm gonna say Virgo women, but I'm gonna be general. Y'all just have to like, even if it's a topic you have no knowledge of, you have no knowledge of this topic, you have to have the last word because your thoughts are your thoughts.
No, I would disagree. I would disagree. I think that um como te digo, like I feel like there should be some type of like compromise. Like with me, I'm just gonna talk personally. Like with me, we may have a disagreement, but if I say what I feel, you say what I feel. It's okay to disagree. To agree to disagree. Like we don't have to feel the same type of shit. We don't have to agree, but you will hear me and I will hear you. But let's move on, please. Or that's like, okay, you don't want to eat chicken, but I want to eat pizza. So what we doing? Let's first stop at the chicken spot and then go get some pizza, and then we're both happy. See, problem solved. I don't like problems
You know, you just
without
got the last
solution.
word without, like, you said it very politically, but you got the last word because you still got what you wanted. So you're just like, yeah,
But
you can
didn't
have
you get
what you
what you
want, but
wanted?
as
You had
long
a
as I get what
chicken.
I want, huh?
But how is that getting the last word? We're both getting what we want. So is
No,
it
no,
should
no.
it be a happy ending?
But the end goal is you got what you wanted. See, that's the last word.
But
You got
why?
what you wanted. You'll never take the L and be like, all right, let's not get chicken. Let's just get pizza. Look at you. You're
But why should
confused.
we
You're
both
like, why should we do that? Like, why would I
why
want
should
to
we
do
both
that?
suffer?
Like,
But why should we both suffer?
we're not both suffering because I wanted pizza. So you're eating
And
pizza
you want
too.
and I wanted the chicken. I wanted the chicken.
Yes, you wanted the chicken.
So we ended up getting what, pizza or chicken?
We end up getting pizza. Like, would you take that L and be like, all right, we'll just get pizza?
Yeah, let me put some
Look at
chicken
how
on my
hurtful
pizza.
that was. That took a lot out of you. You took a lot of,
Put
oh,
some chicken on my
you were
pizza.
hurt. You were hurt just now. You were hurt. You're like, what do you mean I don't get what I want? Like at all? Like you tried to twist that
Put
and
some
ask
chicken on
like
my pizza.
different ways.
Put some chicken on
I
my
don't at
pizza.
all.
Put some chicken on my pizza.
Put
See,
some chicken on your
happy
pizza.
ending. We both
It just
happy.
sounds like you're getting what you want, ma'am. Thank you for proving my point. Thank you for proving my point. Thank you for proving my point. One of the questions that we had was, who's the freakiest of them all? I said Scorpio, and you said
Let me think. The freaky.
freaky.
Can it be two or one? It has to be just
Nah,
one.
it can be whatever you want.
I would say Capricorn and Pisces.
Tell me more.
About the
Even though you're
Capricorn.
biased because, but continue about the Capricorn.
The Capricorn, it was just a different connection. It was a different connection. It was like
Yeah, I think you're thinking about a
everything.
person and not the sign anymore.
No, that's
But
a lie. I'm serious. I'm serious. I've dated a lot of Capricorns, so I'm telling you, very well
and
versed
all of
in
them
them.
are. This is a
I
trait for
haven't been
that sign.
disappointed. I have not been disappointed with a Capricorn. With a Capricorn man. I've only dated one Pisces in my life, so
And he was the best.
I never said that.
No, I hate Capricorns and Libras.
Libras, liars.
Libras.
The L in Libras is for liars. Lying Libras.
But sexually, have you you're like, nah,
Sexually,
they're at the bottom of your list?
ah, hmm. It was 50-50.
50-50?
Yeah, yeah. 50-50.
I don't like Scorpios either. I like Scorpios with the sexual thing. I just don't like them outside of that. But yeah. So that's it
Have
for
you
me.
ever have you ever dated your own sign?
Yes. So I think I said this earlier. Like my own sign, every time I've dated him, it's been great until it's not great anymore. And I think it's a lot with just emotional. I think the girls that I've met that have been Pisces, you talked about being selfish. Like I think that they have been some of the most selfish people I've ever seen. Um, they want their cake and eat it too, a lot.
Like most Pisces?
I'm not gonna say most Pisces because I don't think I do, but the women that I've dated, I think that there's a lot to that, and I think they need to be the center of the attention. So I think
Like
if
most Pisces.
wow, so everything I'm saying is just like most Pisces,
Yeah,
but I
because
think
look at
that's where we clash on certain things, and I think in my experience, like dating my own sign has never worked out well. I think it's
never
always
worked.
passionate, and I think we are great friends, but from a long lasting relationship, nah. But yeah. So in my experiences, it just never works out like that. But I think they're great people. That just
Of
they're
course you
selfish.
would. Of course you would think they're great people. Duh.
And I think there's a lot of kind-hearted Pisces too. I think that there's like for me, when we were in good spaces, those were some of the best people to be around. As far as like having a good time with less. I think that was some of my best times with not having as much as I do now or I've had for a while. So I think doing a lot more with less. Pisces are insecure. Wow, he coming for me right now.
I don't. They act like they're not though. You
Mm.
guys, they act like they're not insecure. Like nothing bothers them. They're so cool, calm, and collected.
Nonchalant.
And yeah, deep down
I've been
inside,
accused.
it's
I've
like,
been accused.
but why? Yes, and they're very fucking sneaky. Why are you so sneaky like that? Yeah, sneaky. Yeah,
We're
sneaky.
sneaky.
I think you guys like the level of sneakiness between a Pisces and a Libra is like matched. It's like right there.
How are we sneaky? Like, tell me more about that. How are we sneaky? From your experience.
You guys are just liars. And sneaky. They're just sneaky liars. Sneaky little liars.
See, in my experience, because of the wanting your cake and eating it too, I think that's the drive for
The sneaky behavior.
in my experience. I'm not gonna say all Pisces are sneaky, but in my experience, whenever sneakiness was involved with those women, it was a lot of the motive was just wanting their cake and eating it too. They didn't want to leave one thing alone, but they definitely wanted a little bit of something else too.
But that happens a lot with you guys.
Oh, I feel attacked. Like a lot of Pisces are sneaky. Pisces are
Yes.
insecure. Is there a good thing about us besides that we're funny and we're like great?
You guys, I feel like y'all always want the dessert a little bit on the side, a little bit extra. Well, what happens if we go down this road? You know, is the grass really greener on the other side? Or what happens if I look over there? I'm not gonna get caught. She'll never know. Let me just,
Or he'll never know
or
in
he'll
my
never know.
scenarios. Ooh.
Yeah, you know, that factor of what's out there. I mean, that could be
I,
if you look. It depends on how you look at it, because that could be a good or a bad thing. It's knowing or wanting to know what else is out there.
I mean,
I don't know.
not gonna disagree with you. I think that is definitely a character trait. Like I said, in my experiences, the women that I dated that were Pisces, one of the reasons it didn't work out was a lot because of attention and a lot because of just wanting their cake and eating it too. It's like they didn't want to give up on one thing, but in the same point in time, they wanted to explore what else was out there. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I've had those experiences too, but I'm good at limiting one thing over the other. I'm not gonna deal with two things at the same time. Two women. I'm not gonna deal with multiple women at the same time because it just takes too much energy from me. But I've grown to that. Like I wasn't like that all my life. There was times where I was like, you know what, I'm dating around, so I'll date this one, I'll date
Now
that one.
you putting that beefcake everywhere,
Not everywhere, but
all
I
apart.
definitely wasn't as selective. I grew to be the selective. I wasn't always the selective. I wanted to experience things, and I think that was the ego at that time.
So
So that
does
was
that
my
make you?
Pisces early me.
So does that make you now a refined Pisces? Hmm?
It makes me a better man.
Oh, that was a cheap cop out. That
That's
was
a
a
cop
cheap.
out. Being a better man is a cop out. You don't want me to be a
No,
better. I shouldn't want to
no,
be
I
a
want
better
you to
man.
be the best. Yes, you should. You should.
Exactly, the
And
best version of
you should,
myself. So
of
I've
course.
made those mistakes. I've done some very very like crazy things as far as women and stuff is concerned. I've had one night stands that have lasted 2 or 3 days. I've had scenarios like that, and those are mistakes and things that I'm like, yeah, this is fun, but it's not. This can't be my life on a regular basis. I can't be slinging dick everywhere
The
and
beefcake.
having fun and just living, slinging a beefcake everywhere and having
No.
fun. And that just doesn't. It's not a sustainable life. So, but I've learned that. Even though y'all say every week I should go out and fuck a bunch of people, I'm
Even
like, I'll
though,
fuck a bunch of people.
but my thing is this: do you think that Pisces really learned their lesson? Because I feel like they keep repeating some Pisces. You guys are very hard headed,
I agree.
very hard and stubborn.
I agree.
Very
I think I'm
stubborn.
hard-headed and I think I'm stubborn. I think in relationships I'm hard-headed and I'm stubborn, but I know that about myself and I try to put that out there so that way that way you can deal with me or whoever I'm dealing with can deal with me because they know this is what I'm about. I try to be as upfront as possible.
You know what I'm doing right now? I'm playing the world's smallest violin for you. Okay. You just said that's just being a refined Pisces. You're a refined Pisces.
I'm a better man. Yes, I agree. So as a Virgo, do you learn lessons? Do you learn lessons
Of
in dating?
course.
Have you
Of
learned lessons in
course.
dating?
Of
What lessons
course.
have you learned in dating and how long does it take you to learn lessons as a
My
Virgo?
lessons, my
Yeah.
lessons are a lifetime journey, honey. Okay. I
Mm.
mean,
Take a chapter
but
out of that lifetime and give it to me. Pause.
um, I've like I said in a previous show that I was on with you guys, I feel like when you go through something with a person, it's not a bad thing. If they
Mm,
hurt you, fine, whatever. It's not a bad thing. Now you're just more aware on how you don't want
Don
people to. You
DeMarco.
understand? So okay,
I
that was
agree.
cute. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna get over it eventually. Okay. And now
Mhm.
when some shit presents itself and it reminds me of that, I know I'm not willing to deal with that. So there's no compromise. You know?
Mm, I agree. I think that's
Of
just the way
course.
I learn. Like for
Me
me
too.
personally, that's just the way I learn. But I've seen people, they're like, nah, I would never do that. They be like, strippers, I would never date a stripper. I'm like, I would date a stripper. There's nothing wrong with that. I know some great strippers. They're great people. They got kids and they go to school.
I don't. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Strippers are great people.
But other people would be like, no, like that's not something they would do. But for me, I would have to go through the experience and be like, nah, you know what, that's
Me
not for me.
too.
But that's how I
So
know what I like.
you're a hands-on learner.
Yeah. Someone
Me
asked me
too.
that the other day. They were like, tell me about some good experiences dating. And I had to think about it hard because I retain and remember the bad experiences because I know that that's not what I want.
Right.
So it's kind of a hard question to ask me. Like, I'll ask you the same question. Tell me some of the things some best experiences that you've had while dating. Pick a sign, any
And
sign, and why those were some of your best experiences.
but when you say best experience, what do you like? What do you mean by that?
Something that you know, like this is something that I want to carry over into my permanent relationship. Like while I'm testing out these relationships or testing out these people, this is something that I know that the person that I end up ultimately being with needs to have. Like for me, I need to know that this person is going to be a caring person, that this person will be a good parent. Like that's important to me because I have kids. And if I have more kids, I want to make sure that that's a good mother. Like a good mother is worth more than anything else for me.
That's a
So
fact.
that's something that I've learned that's important to me. So I've learned that by seeing my exes with their kids and their interaction. So I know that that's something that I want to carry over into my permanent person. So for you, what have you learned that you want to carry over into your permanent person?
One thing that I've learned that I want to carry over from my permanent person is I was dating this Capricorn. No, he wasn't a Capricorn. Yeah, was he a Capricorn? Yeah, he was. He was. And the way he treated his mother and his sister to me was like epic because that also translated in the way that he treated me. You know what I mean? Like, so seeing your relationships with your family is also very important to me, or something that I want to carry over into my permanent person because
Mm,
then I'm gonna know how you're gonna treat me, our children, you know. And
mhm.
I'm a big family person, so that was important. That was really, most of the guys that I deal with or have dealt with in my lifetime have some type of childhood trauma. So
Is
yeah,
that a red flag for you? Like
that's a red flag for me.
childhood
If you have a
trauma.
shitty relationship with your parents, I don't give a fuck how bad your parents were. At the end of the day, those are your parents. And
Mm,
if they didn't do it for you, you do it for yourself.
okay, I disagree though. You can have some like I think family is something that you don't get to choose. Friends become family, and that's a whole different thing. But I think sometimes there's some parents that are not worthy of your love and support.
I get
And
that,
I think that
but you're
sometimes
doing
you,
it
you
to
need
heal
to
you.
know, huh?
You're doing it to heal you. Like if there's some type of issue between you and this parent, and for whatever apparent reason, and they don't deserve your support and your love. At the end of the day, you want to close that chapter. You just don't want to leave it lingering, whether you're gonna fuck with them or not. They're still your
Mhm.
parent. So regardless of what.
Nah, disagree. I totally disagree. If you, God forbid, if you like have a parent that doesn't support you and that brings you down, there's parents like that. There's people like that. There's people
I feel
that
like
are definitely like in your life bringing you down in some way, shape, or form. They're not supportive of your career. They're not supportive of you as a person. They wouldn't
they're
be there if you
envious.
needed them. They're envious. Like there's family members like that you should put some distance between. So like for me, like I said, I've seen those things, and that's why I know that I've got to look into closer. While I love family and I think that family is very important, like I would look into those things closer. If somebody is very close to their parents, I think that that's cool, and that's also something that I've learned that because like I wish I was closer to my mom. I'm close to my mom, but I don't feel like we're the closest. And a part of that is because she just doesn't live in this country. But for me, like it's how close are you to your mom? Does your mom care for you? Do you like those things do matter because family matters to me. But I've also learned that because I didn't have that type of situation. So I learned that, hey, that looks good. I would love that. So that's another example of me seeing something like that and
And your
not
permanent
having it, but
person.
knowing that I would want that in my permanent person. So I agree
Of
with you on that.
course.
And
Of
I saw
course.
that from a Capricorn too. She was definitely
See?
all about her parents.
It's all about the
You're a
earth sign.
Virgo. Why
Because
go get
at the
more?
end of the day, they're still an earth sign. They are still an earth sign. So I'm here for all the earth signs.
All right.
All of y'all, we gang, okay?
Except for Leos. You don't like Leos, but they're Earth sign, right?
I think is Leo earth sign? I think aren't they like a I don't know. I don't want to say.
Isn't
I
it
don't know.
Earth, water,
I
air?
don't know.
But anyway, so so what else is another trait that you've seen that you want in your permanent person? I'm trying to
Loyalty.
loyalty. What does that look like for you?
Don't
And
get me.
how did you
I don't.
learn that you wanted
I don't
loyalty in
care.
your life?
You know why? Because not having it made me know that I want it. So
I
for
see a
me, it's
common
like
theme in our stories here. Like
I feel
we're
like
all about things that we didn't have. Not that'll be my next question. What did you have that you wanted to
I
carry?
feel like I feel like if you're to me in my book is if you do 10 things and out of those 10 things you did six right or six good things, I'm not gonna worry about the rest because it
Oh, you're
doesn't
a
overcome.
65 passing kind of girl. Okay, go ahead.
So my thing is like if you've been there for me and you held me down and you might have slipped up or did something, I'm not saying slipped up. I'm not even gonna use that. But you did something that I didn't like, I'm gonna maybe pass it, depending on the severity of it is. Because if you fucking somebody else, then nah, there's no coming back from that. But anywho, knowing that I wanted loyalty was that I was going through a really hard time in my life emotionally with this one person. And when that one person was, when I was with that one person, I was always there, whether we were together or not. Like something happened to you, he would reach out to me. And, because there was love there and I loved him, it was like, okay, I'm gonna help you because at the end of the day, you're still a person, right? Now, when it was my turn, it was like, well, I don't care because we're arguing and it doesn't even matter. So the fuck what? So that showed me that sometimes I don't even give a fuck about love, but be loyal at least because I feel like loyalty is greater than love. You do crazy shit for love, but when you're loyal to somebody, you will never doubt that.
Mm.
Period.
Don't you think those two things go together though? If I love you, I'm loyal to you. If I
Yes, they
truly
do.
love you, if you're truly in love with someone, can you be disloyal to them? Or do you look at loyalty
Yes,
differently?
I do. I do. Because you can love somebody and hurt them, but if you're loyal to me, you're not gonna jeopardize hurting me because you're loyal to me.
Mm. And do you believe that loyalty, well, do you believe that the love in a relationship cultivates loyalty?
It should. It
Does it
should.
always?
No.
Because you said I can love you and then I can not be loyal to you. Is that what you said?
No. That's
What
not
did
what
you
I
say?
said.
What did you say?
I would prefer somebody to be like fuck love. Like, okay,
You prefer
but
them
be
be
loyal.
loyal.
Yes.
Okay. I like the love though.
I
Because I
mean,
think that
obviously
comes.
everybody wants love,
No, I think that's the
but
bedrock. The bedrock is I want the loyalty too, but if I had to choose, I think that loyalty without love is fair. You
Loyalty
don't think so?
without love is fair.
Loyalty without love is fear.
Fear, you said.
Fear, like I'm
Yeah,
scared. Fear.
yeah. No, I don't think so. I think it's
Why not?
respect.
It's
I think it's
respect.
respect. Yeah.
Respect without love is what?
I don't know. You don't want talking all this crazy shit right now.
I'm not.
You don't want going
I'm.
off.
No,
Like
no,
you
no.
know what's speaking your mind.
Here's.
So,
I'm trying to get you to this point, and I'm thinking about it as I think about it as I'm working the wheels. If you love someone, right? All those
hmm
things comes. The respect comes. The respect will be there behind your back. The respect will be there when you're a million miles away. I think if
Very
you're
true.
loyal to someone, you're loyal to someone out of without love. It's the only thing left is that I don't want to disappoint you, so I'm fearful of losing
I
you.
don't think so. I
What
don't
what,
think
what
so.
else?
I
Tell me
feel like
more.
love. I feel like okay, you may
There's
love
no
someone
love.
too,
You're
right?
talking about loyalty. Just
No, let
loyalty,
me
no love.
put this. No, but
Mhm.
let me go in like this. So you love
Pause.
somebody.
Not going in anywhere like
So
anything. Just be
you
clear.
love somebody, right?
Uh-huh.
And you're so in love with this person. Oh my God, you're so in love with this person. But then I feel like love can make you do crazy things. Love can make you act crazy. Like it
Irrational.
can make you irrational. Yes. It take you to places that in your mind you think you would never go for love. But if you're loyal to me, I don't have to question if there's love or if there's anything else. I would just you're gonna respect me and you're gonna be loyal. You're gonna be a loyal
But
person.
what's driving that? What's driving that loyalty?
The respect and the
The
mutual
respect.
bond and the connection.
So
What's
I'm
understood
mutually,
don't gotta be
but
said. So if you respect
there's
me,
no love. So I just respect you out of respect, and I
but you know when somebody respects you, I feel like okay, for example, let's say you're dating somebody and everything's great for whatever reason, y'all broke up and this wasn't the time, whatever. But there's a mutual respect.
uh-huh,
There's certain things that you would do for this person, whether you guys are dating or not, because you respect her.
uh-huh.
So in a sense, that's some type of loyalty, no?
It is some sort of loyalty, but it's more driven by I don't want to lose you. You have you ever been in a situation where you just don't want to lose someone?
Yes.
You can say no.
No, I
what
have.
what was what
I
was
have
driving you not wanting to lose that person?
the love, but then it's
Was it
the
was
love
it the
was
love? Were you in love with
was
that person and you didn't want
I
to
was
lose
in
them?
love with this. I was in love with the person, but then you know what I realized? I love myself more. So
Ooh.
the things that were happening with that person, it just couldn't happen anymore. It just was not. It's just not. Like I say, if it's gonna cause a war in my life or in my heart or in my mind, I don't need it. So at the time, I didn't understand that concept because obviously I was younger. But yeah. Will I talk bad about him? No. Has he done things to hurt me? Yeah. But we were both young. But we've grown from that situation, and I respect it, and you know, that's it. Am I loyal to him? And in certain ways, yes. In certain ways, yes. Like if someone's talking about him, I'm just not gonna entertain that, or like you know what I mean. Like I show some kind of because what does that say about me? You know what I mean? Like if we're dating and people talk about you or bring things up to my attention, what does that say about me if I entertain what they're saying?
But here's what with a lot of that, I separate that because I'm loyal to friends because I love my friends. I'm loyal to people. If we ever had any type of if I had love for you at any point in time, that doesn't go away. So I will still be loyal to you. Like I'm not sitting here. I would never kick your back in. I would never have those conversations with people. I would never be around and sit around while people are having those conversations about you. Um, if I could say something, I'm going to say something, and if not, I'm definitely not going to be in that environment. And that's out of love. So we talked about the power of love in one of these episodes, one of our past episodes, and a lot of it had to do with that respect factor. It had to do with all that stuff, and the root of mine comes from love. If I've ever loved you, I'll always love you. The love changes, but I will still respect you and all that stuff. But I feel like if you take love out of it, and the only reason I'm being loyal to you is because I'm fearful of losing you or something. So I think that's how I get to that. She's like,
And
nah, I
I
respect
respect
it, but
it.
I respectfully disagree. You can say that. I
Yeah, I
respectfully disagree.
respectfully
That's the Virgo
disagree.
in you.
Yes,
See,
I
but you didn't
respectfully
need to be
disagree.
right. Okay, look at you not being a Virgo.
Of course, I'm a refined Virgo. I keep trying to tell you this, but you don't understand.
I was trying to save some of these questions for Kori when she came on, but she's still having some technical difficulties. So we're gonna jump into them other questions.
Sounds good.
What zodiac sign can you trust with your heart? That's an earlier question. What zodiac sign can you trust with your heart?
With my heart,
Yep.
like with my
With your
actual
heart.
heart, or like eyes
With your,
closed,
with
like
your,
I
with your
trust you.
emotional heart. Like who or what sign for you is that sign that you can trust with your heart?
I don't know.
Because in my answering it, I have not met the one yet.
Me either.
So for me, it's like I've not met a sign or a particular character. I've come close and I'm coming close to those things, but for me, it's hard to say, hey, here's my heart, because I've never experienced that before. So I can't say that. Mind you, I've been in love. I'm not going to say I've never been in love, but for me to say this is a particular sign that I could, it's
Yeah,
hard for me to understand. So I don't really have an answer for that.
I
But
agree.
yeah, so but the people that come the closest are all over the place. There's some Scorpios that I think are loyal, but I just can't be in a relationship with them. There's some Capricorns that I think are, great people, but I just can't be in a relationship with them. So I wouldn't trust them with my heart. There's some Pisces that I think are great people that I would never, ever say I would trust them with my heart. But they're loyal. They'll take care of things, and I feel like they love me, but they would never. I couldn't close my eyes and be like, lead the way, because I think at some
No,
point,
like jump up
they'll
and catch
they'll
you.
well, I'm 6'5", 240. I ain't jumping up for anybody to catch me. We're both gonna collapse. But giving my heart and giving my hand to lead, that's hard.
Very,
Pause.
very. I agree. I have not met
None.
that
LOL.
person.
Not even my own sign.
I have not met that person.
I have not met that person. But being me, I'm always looking, because apparently I like R&B songs. What else do I like? R&B songs,
Ah,
whispers, non-fucking, just love making.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Um, which zodiac sign could be a power couple, or which zodiac signs are power couples?
This is. I can ask the question. What
Yeah.
sign is Jay-Z? Let me Google that.
I
Is he a
think
Capricorn?
Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z's December 4th. What's December 4th? If I know that for sure, that's
He's a
crazy.
Sag.
The
Hold on.
Sagittarius.
Let me see.
I think he's December 4th, if I'm not
He's a
mistaken, from a
Sagittarius.
song. December 4th?
Sagittarius.
Yeah, and what's
Okay.
Beyonce? Because I know that's what you're gonna say. She's a
Virgo.
Virgo. So Sagittarius and Virgos, is that what you're gonna say?
I don't know.
I don't know much about Sagittariuses. I don't meet a lot of Sagittariuses.
They're really good people, but one thing about them, it's like my way or the highway. There's no bending with them. There's no room for any type of flexibility with Sagittarius. It's their way or get the fuck out. Period. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. They're very sweet. They're very caring people. They have really bad tempers too, and they're very fucking
Okay.
emotional. Believe it or not.
They're emotional.
Yeah, super emotional. But they
So,
hide a lot of emotions.
so how would that work with you? Because you're a
I
Virgo.
mean, I don't know, but I did have a very close friend who was a Sag, and we had really good times together, but we ended up not continuing our friendship for a lot of other reasons. But yeah, it was too draining for me. They required too much.
Okay.
And when I say once it starts creating an internal war, it's not. It's time to get off the ship with anything.
Do you find that there's a difference between your relationships with signs and your friendships with signs? Like,
Yes,
for
because
instance,
I don't see them in that romantic kind of. No. Yeah,
Are most of your friends women or men? I like to
men.
ask girls this.
Men.
So you don't have many women that are your friends?
No,
Women don't make it to
no,
that stage for you? Why
no.
is that? Why do women not make it to that stage for you?
Because my energy is too genuine.
I thought you was gonna say something else.
My energy is too genuine, and sometimes it's like they don't know how. It's like control alt delete for them. Like they don't know, you know. So I just be chilling.
I find that a lot of women feel that they don't agree with the premises that women and men could be friends, just friends.
Yeah, they can be friends,
But
just
two,
not with my niggas.
the same women. I'm gonna ask you that question in reverse, but the same women also say the majority of their friends are men. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, that's an oxymoron. Like you're saying that you can't be friends with men. Men and women can't be friends, just friends. But then you're saying that the majority of the people that you find to be your friends are men. So how does that work?
Men
Well,
and
do
women
you
can
have
be
that
friends.
same thought process?
I feel like men and women can be friends, but just you bitches can't be men. You bitches cannot be my niggas friends. As long as women
Okay,
can be
that
men,
sounds
we're friends
selfish. Go ahead, tell me more about your selfish thoughts.
now. Yes, I agree.
You
Men and
agree that
women
you're
can be
selfish?
sometimes.
Okay, tell
Sometimes
me more.
sometimes it calls for the occasion. But yeah, so I don't have a problem with a person that I'm dating having a friend who's a female who has a vagina. It's just it has to be like here's my thing. Let me give you a scenario. Let's say you and I are dating, right? And
Mhm.
we've been dating and you talk about the same girls. I know these are your friends. But now all of a sudden you start talking about other bitches that I never heard of and we've been dating for this long, that's a problem. See?
Why is that a problem? Can't I meet new
Because they're
friends? What if I got a new job?
not bitches. No, not bitches.
Bitches can't be my
No,
friends?
no,
Why?
no.
Why?
Because they have vaginas
And
and you have a penis and you can't be trusted. We've established that in
And
previous recordings.
no,
In
no, no.
previous,
We didn't establish
yeah.
that with me. I said that I'm very picky. I'm not on the fuck everybody bandwagon, but apparently I'm gonna embrace this R&B love thing that you say I've got going on. So my R&B love thing would say, they just friends. Would you be so when you're friends with guys, do they have girlfriends?
Yes.
And are they
No, because I'm cool as
having
shit.
issues? You're
No, I'm
what?
cool as shit. I'm cool as shit.
So
Like
because
I'm
you're
gonna
cool
be
as shit,
yes,
they
I'm
don't
gonna be
have
one of
issues?
those friends. No, I'm gonna be one of those friends like, no, let me make you feel comfortable. No, 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 this is not what's happening here. You understand? Like, I'm not gonna be that friend that's gonna call you at 2 in the morning, like, oh God, let me tell you what happened. No, that's not gonna be
Okay.
me. Like, there's boundaries, but I feel like when you have a relationship, there has to be those boundaries. Now, some people don't have that, and I can't drive with that.
So as long as that person has respect. So a new person could come along and have respect. Like if you make new friends, they could
No,
come
no,
along and
no,
have
no. Time
respect.
out.
Why?
Time out. You see, that's why you go too far.
She's
Listen, that's why you go too far. That's where you
why?
go too far.
It's the same thing. It's the same scenario. If they're
Why
like,
do you
hey,
need to have new friends? I'm the only friend you need. Why?
you want him to
The
stop
only
being a
girlfriend?
human.
No, the only girlfriend that you need, like the only girlfriend that you need. Like, what do you want to do with these girlfriends? Tell me. What purpose do they serve in your life now that you're a person?
Maybe they're
Tell me.
coworkers. Maybe they're coworkers. Maybe we work in
Okay.
the same industry. Maybe
So you
they're
believe in that whole like work wife stuff and like
no,
work
no.
wife and work husband and all that shit?
No,
Because that
I
leads
don't
to
even
fucking
believe in the word best friend. So I don't even say best friend. So I mean, but that's just me. Again, so I would never say the word work wife or work husband. I think that's too close to extra shit. So for me, that would be a no. That'd be a no for me, Sway. But I do believe that you can have friends of the opposite sex, and I do believe that those friends could be attractive, and you be like, nah, I'm good on smashing.
why not?
Why?
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 No,
Why
no, why?
can I?
Yeah, like so you do okay because the devil's a dirty fuck. So you think these things like, okay, she looks good. I passed on smashing, but guess what? It's a girl. It's a co-ed trip, and now we out of the country. We drinking, and all of a sudden my beef
No.
leak at
So
the end of
here's
the
what you got to
night. You're
realize.
gonna
Here's
be
what you
like,
got
no,
to
I'm not
realize.
doing it.
Yeah. Here's what you got to realize. There is so much more benefit in your friendship sometimes than your 30 minutes or 20 minutes, depending on what kind of guy you are, of smashing. there is so much more value in having a girl on your team that's just a friend than there is in Smash. And once you get to that level, that's another level. Like, not everybody's like that. Not everybody can think like that, and everybody wants to think like that. But you get to a certain point in life where you realize, yo, this girl is like somebody that can help me out in many different ways. That one girl, I've had girls that are friends that are super attractive that will be the one to put me on to like several other girls. So because I didn't smash this one girl, she opens the door to 7. Because I didn't smash this one girl, she helps me out in other ways, and I help her out too, vice versa. But she's a cool friend. So sometimes it's not worth it. And there's a lot of those scenarios where guys mess up, and people mess up because of 30 minutes of, slanging and banging. Does that not make sense? Like, am I the only one that thinks like that? When I say that, like, y'all shake your heads, but
it makes sense. It makes sense. But still, my nigga can't have no other.
She's like, nah. She's like, nah. What you said, yeah, but nah. Because he's gonna fuck him. Yeah. So you're 100% sure. Anybody you deal with is gonna smash any good looking girl that's in their vicinity. You are not enough for them.
I've given my life to Jesus Christ himself. Like, I let him take the wheel. So, whatever he wants to do, I'm cool with that. But at this point, I feel like I said, if you have a group of friends, I meet you, whatever, cool. But now these new bitches start adding up.
No new friends. She said no new friends.
Yeah, just keep the circle you have already.
Can you have new guy friends?
No, because I'm not. No, I cherish my relationships with people, and I really am not looking like for friends. Like, even when guys try to talk to me, but we can be friends. No, I'm okay. I'm fine.
That's a lie, but besides the point. So if you have a new job, you don't get to know people in your new job?
I get to know people, but are they going to be my friends? I don't think so.
Why not?
Like friends.
You never know. I don't shut the door on things like that. You never know. That may be your best friend. Have you ever met people that you just met and we talked about soul ties last week, and they have something about them that y'all just clicked? Like, we just met a couple weeks ago. We clicked. We're good people. Like, you're a good person. I'm a good person. Okay, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? So in life, that happens too. So you're gonna shut the door on that. You're gonna be like, nah, we're not gonna be friends because I have a man, and even though nobody's trying to hit
on that, but I feel like sometimes that's kind of like I don't know. I don't like to entangle myself in relationships at work.
Entanglements.
I don't like to do that at work because it just, I don't know.
Entanglements, no entanglements. I feel you. So no sign could be your friends.
No, my best like friends like this, like road dogs. I don't even say best friend because I don't even believe in that term. But I would say Aries. Aries is good in my book.
Okay, and why?
Because we're just as crazy, but just in different levels.
Me more. How does that work? Like, y'all are wild and
Kori and I, we are very similar but very different. And I feel like those similarities and those differences is what makes our bond so strong. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes she has a different way of interpreting things that I go through or seeing things that I go through that I don't even see. She's like a great person. I love her. She's my sister. So,
John DeMarco.
Honestly, tell you the truth,
you got all the shots.
The way we met was super crazy, but one of the friendships that I don't have to question. And that's a very liberating feeling.
Was it like that from the start? Was it like that, like right away, or did that develop?
No, from the door. Like, we've always been like that.
Okay. I guess for me, Tauruses are probably like the people that I've had good relationships with, but you're making the craziest of faces.
Taurus are cheap. Taurus are cheap niggas. I don't like Taurus. Cheap niggas.
Hey, cheap niggas. You be like, hey, you're a Taurus? Nah, you cheap. You're not flying me out. You're not flying me out.
Cheap now?
You buying me Applebee's? Now, for me, it's been Taurus. Like the person that I'm probably the closest with, he's a Taurus, but he has his own ways, and he's the way he is. But I've known him for more than half of my life, so for me, it's a matter of loyalty. I think we're personality wise, we're totally different. I'm more outgoing. I'm more like engaging with people, and he's definitely not that. So it's never anything like that. And my experience is not that he's cheap because we split bills all the time, like literally all the time.
He's not cheap.
Not to me. Like I mean, we split bills, so I mean, I'm not cheap. I think I'm probably more generous with the tips than he is.
Does he that? Has he done things where like he's told you of stories with certain females or just people in general where he's done some cheap shit or no?
No, he's never told me a story of him doing some cheap. I think the weirdest thing
He
I
might be a
ever,
refined Taurus.
huh?
He might be a refined Taurus. Who knows?
He might be. I think the weirdest thing ever was like one time we probably split the bills 3 ways when he was on a date, and I just happened to join him, and Shorty paid, and I was like, "Wow." She was like, "No, no, no," but they make
I've done
bank.
that though.
So, huh?
I've done that.
So I was like, but I don't know. At the time, I don't think that they were dating. I think that they were just out, and then I showed up, and I know that I had one drink. They must have had more than one drink because they was there longer. And we split the bill 3 ways. But I was just shocked because I was like, oh, I thought we would just split the bill. I'd split the bill with him or whatever because they were waiting for me. So I was like, oh, I'll just split the bill with him, and
That
she
was a
doing her
test.
card
That was a test.
for who?
Test Jack for him. I
Did
don't
he
know.
fail?
Did he ever see her again after that?
Yeah, they got married.
Oh, okay.
See, this is like the second story about people, women paying for bills and getting married. Last week, we heard a story about somebody paying for the first date and she ends up
Yeah.
marrying that man. Would you pay for the first date?
No, not the first date.
Jeez. Would you bring your
No,
friends to a date?
fuck no. Did you see that
Yes,
on the
that's why I
show?
asked. That's why I asked. She brought 30 people to the date. If you bring one person to the date, I'm out. I'm going to the bathroom.
Have you ever left somebody like there at a
No,
restaurant without them
I've
knowing?
never. I talk all that shit. I've never done that.
I have. I
How did
have.
that work out?
Because you know what it is to me. I feel like
What sign was they?
he was a
What
dumbass
sign?
a Libra,
He's a Libra.
and you
This is
know
why
what?
you
It's
have
so
so much
crazy.
hate for the Libras.
You know why? And you know what's so upsetting? My mom is a Libra, and she's an A1 person. My mom is a fucking one. Okay, like she's very fair. She's very logical. I mean, sometimes her logic and my logic they don't go together. But she's still my mom. So at the end of the day, it's so disheartening for me to talk so bad about Libras because it's like my mom's a Libra and I love Libras, but what the
But are
fuck?
you talking more about the male Libras than you
Yes,
are the
more
female
male
Libras?
Libras, more
Okay,
male
so
Libras. So this gentleman decides to want to go on a date with me, and I agreed. Okay,
wait, how long
so
were y'all talking? Let's paint the picture. So this gentleman that
we've been
you just met,
we were talking for like about maybe like 2 weeks. We go on the date,
2 weeks. Okay, that's good.
and we were young. We were young. So, he's dressed in designer and all this shit. Great. I'm regular. Cool.
Is that a red flag? Overly
No, because it wasn't
designer?
like tasteless. It was nice, but
Okay,
it wasn't tasteless. So
gotcha.
he asked me, where do I want to go? Like, what kind of food do I like? And I said, oh, I like Italian food. So he's like, oh, do you have a place in mind? I said, sure. Of course I have a place in mind. So
I'm not
I
gonna cut
think
you off, but I'm just gonna add to your story and pepper it a little bit.
mhm,
But is that a turn off
if he asked me if I have a
when a
place
guy
in
does
mind,
not have the date planned and they ask you for suggestions? Is that a turn off?
no, it's
Or is
not
it more
because
of a
to me,
turn on when they have the date planned?
it's a turn on. It's more of a turn on when they have the date plan. But with me, I like to know where the fuck I'm going because then I want to know how I want to dress and like, I envision certain things and I just want to know. I just want to know. I guess this was his way of asking, the food allergy question, Mason. So,
I would have been
um,
asked you that in day week like one. Go ahead.
so I said, oh, I want to go to an Italian restaurant. Oh, do you have one in mind? Sure. This is a place where me and my step pops used to go to all the time. Why? Because my dad was also a Virgo, so he liked the finer things in life. He liked quality versus quantity. So I give him the name. We go. He makes reservations. Everything on this menu doesn't have a price. So, well, not everything, but whatever. So I order what I usually get.
Gentlemen,
He
that's a red
orders.
flag. Just so you know, it's gonna cost you.
I
No
order what
price.
I usually get. I order what I usually get. He starts ordering stuff. I don't know what the fuck happened. I guess he got excited or whatever the situation may be. Long story short, when the bill comes and it's over $300, he asks me for half. And I could not fathom this. And not because I didn't
How
have the
did he
money.
ask you for half? I'm always curious about this. How did that gentleman ask you for
When
half?
he
No one ever
asked me,
tells me how they ask.
he looked at the bill, he was like, what? That was his reaction, what? And then he starts saying, yo, this shit is X amount of dollars. And I'm like, yeah, look where we at. And he was like, oh shit, nah. That's all he kept saying, nah. And I was like, yep, it's about to be exit left right now. So, you know, I,
You didn't like him anyway. Go ahead.
no, I didn't.
I
Or I
could
just,
tell. Like I could tell you didn't like him anyway. His
and
what Libra,
I removed myself.
Virgo.
I just act like I was going to the bathroom and I left. And after that, I never heard from
He
him
didn't
again.
call you. He didn't worry if something happened to you.
I don't care at this point. I'm out, respectfully.
Okay, and that was the
And that's
end of
the end of
that.
that.
No,
Yeah.
no more conversation.
No, he
Wow.
cursed me up a storm. I'm not gonna lie to you. But this was before Cash App, Zelle, Venmo. This was before all of that. This was like I was young.
Wow. Never happened. Never will happen. I prepare myself. I want to know if I'm usually the one that picks where we go. I'll take into consideration your allergies and your likes and dislikes. And then once I decide on a place, I'll make sure that I look at the prices. If prices are the thing to me, I'll look at the
Right.
prices. Like
It's
I'll make sure I know
important.
how much the hookahs are. I'll make sure I know, if we're gonna have hookah, I'm gonna make sure I know how much the bottles are. If we're gonna have bottles, I'll just make sure I have an idea. And then like my date meal isn't usually like the first meal of my day, so I'm not trying to have everything on the menu. And I'm picky with my food too, so
Of course you
I
are.
don't know. But that's a tip to you guys, yo. Make sure you are prepared and you are ready to go. But if Shorty brings more or brings any of her friends, know that it's a test and know that just fail it and leave.
But then my thing is, she's wild disrespectful because she not only she didn't
She
bring her
brought a
friends, she brought
party.
her family of 31 people. 31. I would have been like, nah, bitch, I'm out. I wouldn't even let you sit. Like, I gotta go. Like, technically, if you bring that many people to a restaurant, it's now a private party. Seriously. Like, now you need private dining because this is not gonna work.
Is that a
We have,
test? You think that she thought that that was a test? With her
that was a
30?
stupid test. That was a stupid test. She's a moron. There's other
Do you
ways you
test
can
men?
test. But yeah,
Oh,
of course.
tell me more about that. How do you test? How do
I'm
you,
not
how
gonna
do you
divulge my
Virgos test men?
secrets. I'm
How
not
do you
gonna
test
divulge
men?
my secrets.
How have you heard that your friends that are Virgos
I'm not
test
gonna
men?
divulge. I can't let you in. I can't give you the sauce.
Yo, okay.
I cannot.
You
But
you
it's
can't
like
give me a
you
little taste.
listen,
Pause.
I'm gonna just say this. Men will do what you allow them to do. And men will you can go as far as you can go. You just gotta be smart about it. Okay? Because this is all this.
That
But
sounds like a user mentality. Like
I'm hanging around just
you're
like to
planning
like
on just taking them like for everything he's got. Like he's trying to impress you because that's what the dates are. Dates are there to impress, right? So he's trying to
how do you
impress you, and
impress
you're
them?
like, huh?
How do you impress them? When
How
you
do I
take somebody
impress
on a
him?
date. Yeah, when you take somebody on a date, how do you impress them?
Okay, so for me, it's understanding your likes and your dislikes. So we talked about that. So that's that 2 weeks. So I need at least 2 weeks to prepare. So I need to know your likes and your dislikes, what your favorite foods are, where have you been before, where have you not been before. Um, what do you like to do? Do you like hookah? Do you like wine? Do you like hard liquor? Do you like clubs? Do you like music? Do you like Spanish music? Do you like regular like hip hop music? Do you like lounges? Like there's a lot of things that go into it. And then you cultivate the date based on the person. So I usually cultivate my date based on what you like. If you're a dressed up type of person, Take them to dressed up type of place. If you are more of a, jeans and, high heels type of person, then take them to a place that accommodates that. Like, I'm not going to take you to play mini golf, and you're like in a tight dress and, you got all that stuff showing. It just makes no sense. Right. But I'm going to take you to Top Golf. That's still something different. But like, you got to keep those things into consideration. So that's how I would take people on dates, and that's how I do it. Would that work, or would you think I was trying to play you?
No, I think that would work. But I guess that's why you
That's
have
why I
those
don't date
2
you the
weeks.
first 2 weeks. We ain't doing shit.
But I think that you maybe want to cut that down to like a week and a half, my brother. I'm just saying.
Nah,
Because
2
2
weeks.
weeks,
I need
I'm
2
like, yeah,
weekends.
I'm like, damn, this nigga still ain't take me out. Yeah, you a dub. I gotta go. Yeah, come on. Like, what's
See
going on?
that'd be your decision. Now I know that you be on a lot of dates, so I'm good. Like,
But what's wrong with that?
what's wrong with you being on a lot of dates?
I
Is
don't
that
see
the
nothing
question?
going on
Is
there.
that the question? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So if Shorty's on a lot
What's
of dates,
wrong with
right?
yes.
If you're a professional dater, I like to call the people with multiple dates professional daters. So you're a professional dater, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go on multiple dates all week, 5 days a week.
Well,
I
I
don't
don't
want
have
to be
that
a
much
part of
time
that.
to date a person, but
Well, if you go, how many times a week do you go on a date?
it could be multiple dates, but it could be with the same person, or it could be multiple dates with different people.
You pick a
Um,
scenario. How many times a week? 4 times, 3 times,
I,
2 times.
I don't know.
All right, let's say 3 times a week. Meet in the middle. So if you go on a date 3 times in a week, 3 different people, whatever the case may be, I don't want to be a part of that. That's you're in a high level or a high volume time period in your life. So
There's heavy traffic right now.
there's heavy
There's heavy
traffic right now. Do you like to be in traffic? I don't like to be in traffic. So if there's heavy traffic going down your pathway, like, you know what?
No,
You can enjoy that, but I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for somebody who's gonna be serious about like getting to know me. So if you got heavy traffic, some people like playing in traffic. So I mean, if you like playing in traffic and that's your thing, shorty may be for you. But for me, I don't
but
like playing
you
in
don't
traffic.
know who's gonna take you out the traffic if you don't date.
That's true. That's true. But anyway, I don't think Kori's ever getting on tonight, so I'm not
I
even
don't
gonna
think it.
hold you. Let's tell people where they can find you. We're wrapped.
On Instagram, of course.
She said on
Elusive
Instagram.
E, elusive underscore. I don't know how many underscores, but once you type elusive, the most popular one, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Underscore, underscore, underscore.
You
All
know
right,
what?
as
I'm not gonna
always, as always, you can check us out here at Hush Your Mouth every single Tuesday and Thursday. We record twice a week. So just check us out here on YouTube, on Facebook. It's Team Mason TV. On YouTube, of course, it's Hush Your Mouth ENT. We were trying Twitch today for the first time. So Twitch was out there. We'll check those numbers. I forgot what Twitch channel we're on. And you can find me on Instagram, and it's at YNVS underscore it's Mason. Yeah, hit Elusive E up if you want to be one of the 3 dates a week that she's got going on. I have no dates a week. Maybe
Guys,
one.
I've given my life to Jesus Christ and stuff. I'm telling him to take the wheel.
Those be the ones. I know some church girls. Oh my God,
Just take the wheel.
they are aggressive. Those church girls. No offense, no judgments, no kinks.
Of course,
He said no
the
judgments.
Pisces. That's what they do.
Whatever. Virgos, stretch the truth. So thank you guys for joining us, checking in. We'll be back this Thursday. We got a whole nother episode. I think Thursday is more of our serious episode. I think we're doing domestic violence. We will let you know if you follow us on any of our social networks. And yeah, that's it. So say bye.
Bye.
Later, y'all.